What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. We are back here once again, and you already know what time it is. We have awoken from our slumber uh, to go ahead and get day number 3, not underway, but coming in right after the Detroit Lions have selected defensive tackle Skylar Gill Howard with the 24th pick of the 6th round of the draft. Overall, pick number 205. So we're going to be here throughout the rest of the draft. We're going to do Syndicats 365 at the end of it all, and then we're going to tap back into the UDFAs and all of that. So we will be with you here for the rest of the evening, carrying you through to the end of it all. So I got to do some catching up. Appreciate everybody who's rolling in here in anticipatory right now. All right, so let me catch up with y'all. So we've drafted Jimmy Rolder. We drafted a receiver in round number 5. Let me see. No, I'm sorry. We drafted Keith Abney, cornerback, and then a receiver, Kendrick Law. And I believe, well, we're definitely not gonna. Let's see. Did anybody get Harold Perkins? Is Harold Perkins gone yet? Let me see. Black Jones, it is 7 a.m. It is 7 a.m. So when the day 3 started, it was 2 a.m. and I was just getting into bed. So I'm on 5 hours here of sleep. It doesn't look like anybody's gotten Harold Perkins. I mean, let me make sure. Let me see here. He has not been picked yet, so the Detroit Lions still could still grab him, but I really don't think at this point they want him. Let me see. Let me type in here. All right. Let's do our Jimmy Rolder video. Make sure that they did not. So are y'all happy with these picks, or are you scratching your heads? What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. We are back here once again, and you already know what time it is. We're going to skip the intros because the pick is in. The Detroit Lions have officially made their 3rd selection of the 2026 NFL Draft, and that is pick number, hold on now. You got to play the sound. With the 118th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jimmy Rolder, linebacker, Michigan. Jimmy Rolder is a junior. I know a lot of seniors got selected yesterday. So let's read a little bit of a draft profile on Jimmy Rolder. Jimmy Rolder was a standout third baseman. You know, when it starts off with the baseball, you're in for a treat. Anyway, Jimmy Rolder was a standout third baseman at Marist High School with Division I baseball. Shout out Marist. Hold on, bro. It's awesome when people put ads and stuff so you can't read it. All right. At Marist High School with Division I baseball offers on the table and a verbal commitment to play ball at Illinois, but football kept pulling at him. His stepfather, Scott Kehoe, had played at the University of Illinois and spent time with the Miami Dolphins, so the game was in the bloodline. When Illinois came calling with a football offer late in the recruiting process, the dominoes started falling fast. Within weeks, programs like Ohio State, Michigan, and Minnesota were on the phone. Rolder chose Ann Arbor, and Marist lost a pretty good third baseman. Now, if this is the Marist that I'm thinking of, it is in Georgia. So shout out Marist. All right, let's get to the football stuff. We don't care nothing about baseball. All right, so his scouting reports, strengths, and his scouting report weaknesses. Let's go with the strengths. He plays with a low center of gravity and anchors against blocks with a stout base that belies average measurables for the position. A stout base that belies average measurables for the position. Basically, he's undersized. His tackling technique is borderline textbook, wraps through contact every single time, and almost never lets a ball carrier wriggle free on film. Reads his keys quickly in the run game and triggers downhill with conviction. What is it? Rarely caught flat-footed or hesitating at the second level. Hold on. Violent hands at the point of attack, jolts offensive linemen on contact, and creates separation to disengage and make plays in the hole. Navigates through traffic and trash in the box like a veteran, finding creases through congestion to tighten the alley on ball carriers. Against the run, he consistently fits his gap, stacks blocks at the point of attack, and forces runners to bounce into less favorable lanes. Forgive me, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. My reading eyes aren't in yet. All right. His Michigan State game was a masterclass in linebacker play, 10 tackles, 2 TFLs, a sack, a fumble recovery, and he looked like the best player on the field. Penalty-free career at Michigan speaks to discipline and body control in tight spaces where less composed linebackers pick up flags. Listen, if you're penalty-free, you're all right with me because you know what it is. You know why we keep it. It happens. It's third down. It's 3rd and 5, right? Or not even 3rd and 5. It's 3rd and 17. And somebody gets a defensive holding penalty. somebody gets an illegal hands to the face. Somebody gives up automatic first down on 3rd and 17. Or it was 3rd and 5. And somebody gave up an automatic first down after the pass was incomplete. So we know what it is. So penalty free is all right with me. All right. Weaknesses. Only 11 career starts across 4 seasons raises the real questions about why coaches didn't trust him with more playing time sooner. When runs bounce to the perimeter, his lateral agility and pursuit speed strain to keep contained, and he loses angles too often. So if he's not good stretching the field sideline to sideline, what does that mean for coverage? What does that mean for Rodrigo? We'll talk about that in a second. Coverage is a clear limitation. Receivers and tight ends found soft spots around him at a high clip when targeted in his zone. Pass rush is more effort than impact, taking a go-to move on the or the burst off the edge to threaten quarterbacks with any consistency. Against climbing offensive linemen who get into his frame at the second level, he can get washed out of the play when he fails to shed early. So we've got a guy in the 4th round who has limitations. I don't know if he'll project to do anything. I definitely am not projecting him as a starter. What I can say is that we didn't get any coverage. So we're still going to be relying on Rodrigo. Rodrigo is the starter. I read something on NFL.com that said he could fill the Anzalone role. I don't know how you feel the Anzalone role when Anzalone was our best cover linebacker, and you've got a guy who's limited in coverage and can't do it well. So that is the pick. Once again, Jimmy Rolder from Michigan, junior linebacker, pick 118. Pick 18 of the 4th round. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And we are out of here. Once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace. All righty. That was Jimmy Rolder. Mike says this was a weird mixed bag of late picks. We better play a lot of nickel. Let me be clear here. All right, let me just roll down here. Harold Perkins, still there. Harold Perkins is still available. Greater Good, what up, though? Greater Good says, don't let Mike and his internet in here. Hell yeah, these picks are the best they could have been. Again, I'm in that boat right now where I don't expect anything from you. We're in the 6th round. So Skylar Gill-Howard, defensive tackle. I don't expect anything from him, but we will go ahead and do all the videos. All the videos. I got to catch up. Lamar Gittin says, I'm liking the picks. Good. I'm glad you're liking them. Let's see. I had something up here, which was something I was looking for. There it is. Got to make thumbnails. For those of you who are not yet subscribed to Motor City Cats, please consider going over there and subscribing. Let's see how far we are away. Are we still 29 away? No, we are 25 away. So if you are not subscribed to the Motor City Cats, please consider going to the channel and subscribing. See what we got over here. Let me see. You're not gonna let me do it, huh? All right. I'll just pop it up here then. All righty. All right. Here's the link. Stephanie Reed says, better late than never. What up, though? Listen, I was asleep, man. Okay. it's 7 a.m. over here. I woke up like an hour ago. Yeah, you gotta give me some cut me some slack. Skylar Gill, so quick at that size. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video about Skylar Gill. I'm gonna make a video about everyone. So bear with me now. Bear with me now. The thumbnails are gonna be the most not difficult because I just gotta find a picture. The easiest part is when you're just using when you're using the same thumbnail, so you don't have to make any changes except for the picture. So that's the good thing about it. We got the template already set up. Don't have to change no words. The pick is in. That's what you can say for every draft pick. And you just go ahead and put it up there. So that is helpful. All right, so that's that. The Jimmy Rolder thumbnail is done. See how quick that was? It's taking me longer to download it than it took me to actually get to make it. All right. So Jimmy Rolder. Who was next? Was it Avery, the corner? We got the corner, the safety, and then we got the defensive tackle. It's Keith Abney, not Avery. My bad. What do you think of this draft, bro? I'm at a B/B minus. Yeah, I'm around the same. I don't like that we picked a wide receiver at all, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we picked him in the 5th round. So y'all know how I feel about the 5th, 6th, and the 7th. I don't really expect anything from you. You know, the dude's going to be a special teamer. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But other than that, I think the first 2 picks were very solid picks. I would say the Blake Miller pick was a B plus. I would say the Derek Moore pick was an A. Jimmy Rolder. I mean, I get that you needed a linebacker. I get that he fits the grit culture and all that, the tenacity and high motor, all that. But he can't cover. And Rodrigo's not good at coverage. So I feel like it's a bit redundant. So I would give it probably about a C plus, C. So yeah, overall, I think that we are in the B minus type of draft. Yeah, we're picking punching bags at this point. Exactly. We are definitely picking punching bags at this point. You know, meat sacks in the freezer for Rocky to beat up on. So, did Nadim go? We already picked our edge. So, I was kind of hoping that McCoy continued to fall. If he was there in the 5th round, I think we would have got him. And at that point, then I don't mind if you grab a guy who's, you know, got major concerns about his knee, because again, it's the 5th round. That's the definition of a steal. If he can get healthy, you know, even if you redshirt him, if he comes in here and doesn't play for the first year at all, but then he's completely healthy, yeah, he's going to be a starter on your team. You're cool with Abney? I'm about to do the Abney video. I think Abney is next for me. Yeah. So should I get this one out first? Let's see. Go to the library. It's crazy how when you're using StreamYard and you want to publish a recording, you have to go to edit first, and you can't just hit publish. opportunity. Do y'all read the descriptions? Because sometimes I wonder if the description is worth it. Like, should I put a description in there? That is what I wonder. Get a backup QB, spin the wheel, got to be one better than Hooker. I mean, that's not hard. It's not hard to get a backup QB. Now, you know what? And here's the thing. Taylon Green went at the top of the 6th round. Taylon Green instead of the wide receiver that we got. You know, I mean, you don't need a 5th round wide receiver, bro. You don't. You know, you got Dominic Lovett. You signed Greg Dortch. I mean, I don't understand the wide receiver pick. I definitely would have liked to see someone like a Taylon Green. I definitely would have liked to have seen someone like Harold Perkins Jr. I don't know. Like, I don't know what does a wide receiver do for you in the 5th round? This is where, if you want to take a project, this is when you grab Taylon Green. This is when you grab Harold Perkins. Taylon Green went in the first pick of the 6th round to the Cleveland Browns. Go figure. You know what I mean? Like that, and they're like, oh, we'll take a flyer. This is literally what taking a flyer means, right? Oh, first pick, 6th round. We got 85 quarterbacks anyway, but we'll take a flyer. I don't know, bro. I really don't. All right, round 7 is underway. The Cardinals are on the clock. The Packers comp pick is in. Harold Perkins Jr. goes comp pick to the Atlanta Falcons. So there will be no Harold Perkins Jr. in Detroit. Jordan Vandenberg, who everybody wanted, goes to the Bears. Of course. But we got our defensive tackle in Skylar Gill-Howard. A horse is a horse, of course. So we're still waiting on the Packers pick to be announced. It's in. And then we can shift to the 7th round. Once again, we have 81 people in here, and I know a lot of that is LNU. Because my regulars are not in here. Obviously, they were not expecting me to be here. But, you know, when you got to sleep, you got to sleep. Trey Smack. Trey Smack, the brand new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking brand new flavor in your ear. Trey Smack kicking brand new flavor in your ear. Why is it kicking? Because Trey Smack is a kicker selected by the Green Bay Packers with the 35th pick of the 6th round, which is a comp pick 216. So that is Trey Smack. The Cardinals pick is in. The Cowboys are on the clock as we wait to see what it is. Detroit Fan Man says, I'm here. Are we thinking Uar Bernard at 222? I'm not thinking anything at 222, guys. uh, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's definitely the 7th round, and anybody that we draft here is a guy that I fully do not expect to make the team. So, why would you draft Uar Bernard here, Detroit fan man? All right, Jaden Williams is the first pick off of the board in the 7th round. OT, Mississippi. The Cowboys pick is in. The Saints are on the clock. I'm thinking we get the. I'm thinking we get the dude who holds the equipment at breaks at 222. I don't even think this person's making the team, bro. So breaks, you mean breaks at training camp, because that's as far as he's gonna get. That's as far as he's gonna get. I wonder if NFL.com has a UDFA tracker. Has Brad Holmes done any more press conferences today? Let me get this Jimmy Rolder video out. Can anybody tell me why Jeremiah Love has a theme song? I just that's weird to me. It's weird that he has a theme song. Is that not weird to y'all? Jeremiah Love having a theme song? I mean, it's not like they didn't make it for him, but you know what I mean. Bro, StreamYard is clutch. Using StreamYard to get these videos out is a whole lot faster than what I used to have to do. Because I used to have to download them and then upload them. Or if not download, I had to because what I would do is once I went live, I would hit record on OBS. I still use OBS, but not for recording and stuff like that. So I don't save anything on my laptop, which makes things a whole lot less cluttered. Hard drive space and all that stuff. All right. right, that's good for that. And let's change this from private to public. Done. Save. Send it out. Jimmy Rolder is there. Again, I don't even know if I need. Do y'all read the descriptions? That's my question. Do y'all even read the descriptions? Do you even lift, bro? All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Anthony Smith, wide receiver, East Carolina, goes to, he doesn't even have a picture. He doesn't even have a picture. He goes to the Dallas Cowboys. TJ Hall, cornerback, Iowa, goes to the Saints. The Bills are on the clock. So we are 3 picks away, or I should say 2 picks away from the Detroit Lions' final selection of the draft. I would say the only pick that bothers me in this section of the draft was the cornerback in round 5. I'm not the cornerback, the wide receiver in round 5. I thought that was a place where, again, you've thrown things away. I don't know what it was about Harold Perkins Jr. They didn't like his football character. They didn't like his football IQ. I don't know. Explosive athlete, good in space, can run, can cover. Why you wouldn't want him when you don't have that guy on your team, I don't know, bro. But, you know, our first 2 picks were good. As Mike said, he has at least 2 head scratchers to draft. I didn't understand. So if y'all can help me out, we got Michigan fans in here. I'm a Michigan fan. Why Jimmy Rolder? Toriano Pride Jr. goes to Buffalo, cornerback out of Missouri. The Bengals are on the clock. The Bengals pick is in. The Detroit Lions are on the clock. Let's see what they do here. Maybe they'll address the safety. Since they haven't gotten one, they got a wide receiver. Yeah, I don't like the wide receiver pick, bro. I really don't. I'm annoyed by it, if I'm being quite honest with you. Because I didn't want to see no more offense. You got Blake Miller. Everything was defense, defense, defense. That's what it should have been. For the most part, that's what it has been. You got a defensive tackle. You got your edge. You know, you got a cornerback. And then you got a wide receiver. That one I didn't understand. All right, waiting for them to announce the Bengals pick. The Detroit Lions are on the clock. What do y'all think they do here? Other than the equipment manager and Uar Bernard. So Uar Bernard is the only name we've gotten, and then we've got an equipment manager as well. Maybe they draft the water boy here, the hydration specialist. H2O. I don't know if they're at a commercial break or what, because I'm not watching the draft live. I'm just watching the tracker. I got tired of watching the actual draft. Once everybody and their mother starts coming out and making picks, and they be bringing out flag football teams to make picks and all this other stuff, that's when I'm like, all right, I'm gonna head out. And I'd rather watch, a YouTube creator. Speaking of which, let me tap in with Syndicate. I might need to all right. Jack injuries, tight end Texas goes to the Bengals. The Detroit Lions pick is in. Um all right. Tyree West, another defensive tackle. Tennessee. All right. The final pick is a defensive tackle. Tyree West out of Tennessee. uh yeah. That's crazy. We got two defensive tackles. We passed on Harold Perkins Jr. So I don't think our scheme is changing too much, but we'll see. If the Lions took a few Wolverines and all the positions I thought were needs like this, I would be more excited than this. I should be more excited than this. All right, let's check out some Tyree West highlights so we know what he does. All right, let's see. Okay, Tyree West. Bro, they're standing Tyree up. Tyree West is our big end. Tyree West is our big end, bro. That's crazy. Tyree is standing up rushing. So he's our big edge. Yeah, they literally drafted Tyree West to stand him up or to come off the edge. You can see Tyree West, 290 pounds in his highlights. He plays heavy. Yeah, I was looking at the highlights. That's what I'm saying. He does, but they're going to put him on the edge. All right, Brad is on. Let's pull that in.
We offer you some untapped versatility they haven't shown at the college level. When you were scouting them, kind of what was your initial view of how they schematically fit defensively?
Yeah, first time I looked at Rolder, I was just I was like, I just kept saying football player. I was like, this guy's a football player. Thought he was highly instinctive. Again, he was the one guy on that Michigan defense, like Derek Moore, like I said, like we've been watching for a long time, and there's other players on that defense or just on that team, period. He was the one that I hadn't seen in previous years. And so that was just kind of like a fresh, very encouraging view of him, but thought he was very instinctive, was a really good tackler. He doesn't really miss hardly any tackles. And, he just plays with his hair on fire. He's stronger than what you think. He can actually set edges if you put him on the edge. But, if you don't know where you're going and if you don't have, high level processing and instincts, it can be tough for you. I don't care how big, strong, explosive you are as an inside linebacker. And then Abney was the same thing. We've evaluated Abney, multiple times throughout this process, dating back to last fall. And every single time, I always enjoyed. I think he might tilt a little bit more in the nickel, but, at this level, but I do think he can play outside for sure. But he's another instinctive guy that, he can find the football. He can trigger, he can tackle. He's pretty sticky. He was just a simple one because we had him ranked, a couple rounds higher than where he was. So that was a no-brainer for us.
You need to see from an outside corner to say that guy will work. We think that guy will work in the slot.
Yeah. Yeah, you really want to see the instincts and the toughness. You got to do a lot of things at that nickel spot. You got to deal with, and you probably can. Yeah, you want speed to be able to match vertically, but you want a guy that has a little bit more short area suddenness. Just to handle the two-way goes and be able to get off the spot. But there's a lot of run action coming at you too at that spot. So he's going to be just fine. But again, didn't think he would last that long, and so just thrilled that we got him.
I think the most important thing is that you accomplished this week. Like, it seemed like a meat and potatoes draft, kind of getting back to the basics, trenches, and just in your eyes, what was sort of the most important thing you got done?
It was just that, just finding gritty football players, just kind of, getting back to, I'm not saying that we forgot about our identity, but, just making sure that was at the top of mind. And so that's why every single player that we took, like, there's sometimes where we're writing notes and I write down, man, this guy's a football player. And I go back and I'm reading my notes through all the guys that we picked. And I'm just highlighting that I've said that about every single one of those guys. And so, as long as me and Dan are seeing it the same way in terms of like they're football players that fit us. So, but I would say just like that was kind of the overall theme. And look, that is competitiveness. So however high that these guys take it in terms of climbing the depth chart, I do think that they're going to have the ability to potentially make some people uncomfortable.
Five of your 7 picks were defensive side. I know you picked the best player that you like, but was there some semi-intentional defensive heavy picks?
Not really. I do think, I will say this, I think the way that our board was set up, that we had a little bit more volume on the defensive side. And so that's why I think that it tilted that way.
When you give a player the football player label in your notes, like in a given draft, what percentage of players would you say you give that label to? Like, how thin is that group of players that you're choosing from days 1 through 3?
Defense, bro.
That's a good question. I haven't really done the math on it. I would say the majority of them, we do, or I will say along the way.
Make your browser fast. Make your browser safe. Make your browser Chrome.
I think that are, like football players, how we define football players. But you start getting into the 6th, 7th round, you might, take a shot on maybe, some higher traits or something like that. But I've had a lot of conviction about all these guys this year.
You look at Law as somebody to take the Khalif Raymond role?
Yeah. It's possible. Look, so Law, yes, I think he can do multiple roles. There's, I think the easy low-hanging fruit narrative is he's a gadget player. What was very interesting with Law is that for the first time I saw him, that was 2024 when he was at Alabama. And me and Ray were at the Georgia-Alabama game. And I saw him out there on the field, and I just was impressed about his build and how explosive he was. I had no idea who the player was. And so I told Ray, I was like, man, who's that number 1 out there? And so I was calling Hudspeth, our college director, was like, man, is this guy an underclassman? Is he going to come out and all that? And then, they said, no, he's going to go back to school. And so I didn't think about him at all till, last fall. Then he kind of popped up on the list, and I was like, oh, this is a kid that I saw a year ago at Alabama. And so just kind of saw. So I was fired up about just what he did offensively. I had no idea about his special teams ability. And that's what really elevated him even more. And not just return like a Leaf, but this guy can play gunner. Like he's 4-phase special teams player, and he's another one that's just he's a dog, man. He's a football player.
You guys obviously filled a lot of holes in free agency. You were able to come here and coincidentally fill some more holes on the roster. So how do you feel just about the player acquisition period as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good coming out of this weekend just because I felt like I do feel like we did do well in free agency. We put a lot of work in it, and then we felt good about obviously the draft. Like I said, even what we did today, it even exceeded what I thought that we were going to be able to get. So yes, I do feel good, but we're not being complacent. You guys have heard me say it all the time, and I'm gonna continue to say it because I just think that that's the mindset you got to have, is that whenever you feel like you're good, then that's when you can get your ass whipped. So you just gotta. I'll always say it's never good enough. So we still got post draft. Those guys are working right now. For undrafted guys, and there'll still be some veterans out there that'll be very interesting. That we're going to be taking a long, hard look at next week.
You did not draft any.
Making people uncomfortable. I mean, is helpful. And Dan has mentioned wanting to create more competition. How much do you feel like? I mean, again, that was the goal this offseason was to do that and create competition within the roster.
Yeah, just because I do think we have some really good players on our team right now. I think we have a lot of really good players, but the more competition, it just brings out even better out of those already good players, and even some young guys that haven't quite gotten their opportunity yet, that we expect to get opportunities this season. It's going to bring out the best in them as well. So I just think that the competition is it just brings the best out of everyone. And so that's what we were really focusing on.
You did not draft any safeties. What does that say maybe about your confidence in Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph for health for the year?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't about it wasn't that we intentionally didn't draft a safety because we feel good about them. I feel like they're both trending in the right direction, but it just didn't line up. Just like hasn't lined up at other positions in the past. We didn't ignore it. There were some good ones that were out there that just got picked, before we were able to, but it just didn't quite line up. And I didn't really think that class was as deep either. So, it had to line up and you had to strike right.
Just on Branch and Joseph, I mean, they got guys in the building this week, so you feel pretty good about maybe where you thought they'd be?
Yeah, like I said, I think they're both heading in the right direction. Yeah.
Push for some efficiency on some processes this offseason, with skipping the league meetings and also the removal of the local pro day. Rookie minicamp canceled this year. And so I'm just curious your thought perspective on the value of that, and where do you maybe supplement some of the stuff you do there with getting those guys acclimated?
Yeah. Look, that's part of the I told you guys at the end of the season, me and Dan were going to take a long, hard look at every single thing from top to bottom, and that's what we did. And so those kind of evolvements and or efficiencies, that came about from that. Not doing things just to do it, just because you feel like you have to do it. You can't be scared when you want to try something new that you think is going to be better for the football team. And so that's what we did, and that's why some things are, from a calendar standpoint, looks like they're removed, but there's other things that are going to be taking place that I feel is going to be more beneficial for us.
It with is there anything that you can say that how will it benefit the team? I guess
I just can't say it, but that's we're not just removing it and just using that as idle time to twiddle our thumbs. It's something that we're utilizing to put in place of that. We feel that's gonna be more efficient and better for us.
Was your draft distinctive this year from the other drafts? If so, in what way? Either the type of players you got or the amount you got. What made it different in your mind, if it is different than the previous drafts?
That's actually a really good question. Look, I take every draft serious. I just feel like it's too critical and too important. But I will say it was probably a little bit more fire. Like you said, I know people, you guys know about me not going to the meetings, just to kind of work on some other things to make sure that this, it was stuff like that. But when you miss the playoffs, that might be that might be the kick in the rear that you need at times. I don't know how I'm going to make it this day. That right there, I had it written up on my office wall and all that kind of stuff. But it was just not saying I don't have fire in other drafts or I didn't, but it was just a little bit more. I think the urgency need to be pushed up on everything, and so it was just a little bit more fire on the intensity heading into this one.
What did you have written on your office wall? What was up there?
Not making the playoffs. I had some other things I'm not going to say, but it was just a reminder of that. We were when this playoff started, we're sitting at home watching.
How does that fire manifest itself? How did you, outside of just spending more time on it. How did that manifest itself?
Yeah, it's just, taking that long, hard look in the mirror and just looking at everything from top to bottom and saying, look, like, what can we do to do things better? What kind of tweaks and changes and adjustments? And those are the kind of things that I was talking about at the end of the season when I said some of these adjustments might not come with a headline. So I wasn't saying that it wasn't like we're not going to sign a player or draft. Like, it wasn't about that. It was just that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be done and tweaked and adjusted that just might just be internal, that might not be a headline. So you guys are good at your job. So you guys, kind of get them. So you guys got some already, but yeah, it was just those kind of things. But I feel a lot better that we made those moves and made those adjustments.
Specifically, did it say we missed the playoffs, or what did the word say on the board that you wrote?
Oh, that we did not.
Board that you wrote.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell you the specifics, but it was along those lines. Yeah.
A couple more defensive trench players today. Just what do you like in West and Gil Howard?
Yeah, both of them really their ability to apply pressure as sub rushers. Gil Howard obviously, came from, Northern Illinois, and then when he came here, but he showed pretty consistent tape in terms of his motor. He's 100 miles per hour. He's not the biggest guy, but he's quickness. He's relentless. He's instinctive.
Gil Howard
and he can win quick. So that was intriguing about him. And then the same way with Tyree West. Tyree West, he was kind of part of a rotation with a lot of defensive linemen that were NFL caliber players. So it wasn't really a knock that he wasn't like, getting all the snaps. It's just they had a lot of guys, but when he would come in, he would take advantage of the ops that he got in terms of being able to apply pressure and get to the quarterback. So he was one we brought him in for a visit, enjoyed the time that we spent with him, and felt really good about it.
Talk about reestablishing that grit. You know what I mean? But how difficult
what do
you
y'all
guys
think
have
about the
success
Rolder
at
pick?
the levels you guys reach? To some extent, is it to keep that as the players change and everything? What have you learned about just keeping that? How do you guys maintain that grit?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you said it, Eric. It's the further you go or the higher you go, it takes a little bit extra urgency and discipline to make sure that you're keeping that instilled. I think everybody's a human being, and everybody can, feel like, okay, well, what we're doing is working, so let's keep doing that. And then you get hit in the face, and it's like, whoa, maybe it's not good enough. And so those are the things that, so that was kind of the silver lining. As much as it sucked to end the season how it ended, that it might have been what we needed, and so but I'm glad that we took a long, hard look but it's harder as you go on.
Brad, there was fewer drafts than I guess
you could have taken Taylor Green. You could have taken Harold Perkins Jr. there. Like,
maybe the phone just wasn't ringing, or just nothing good was coming in, or everything fell the way you wanted it.
Fewer draft trades, you're saying?
Yeah, they can only had 2 this year. Usually there's
in terms of the movement.
He can't cover. That's my.
You can always have a plan and say, well, look, we can sit and pick, or I think we just stay patient. I felt pretty good for the most part on day 3 that we could stay patient, but when we got into the 5th round and then the players that we selected there, they're both there. I was like, well, we're going to get both of them, so figure that we're going to have to make a move up there. A little bit with Derek Moore, it was close. Thought that we were, but just like I told you guys, when the pass rush started coming off the board and just kind of seeing who was up behind us. So there were smaller incremental moves, but you just got to just react to how the board's falling.
Can I just follow up to that? Yeah. I think one of the big surprises was you didn't trade back into the third, which I'm not saying you had to, but it's like it felt expected almost. But is there any reason why you didn't go back to the third? Was there just nothing there that you really thought, hey, we got to get?
No, I just it kind of fell like how we kind of thought it would, and we felt confident. But but that was kind of my sense when we made the Tesla trade as well. Just kind of seeing how things have been going for the past couple of years. I know that number is a popular number, that numerical figure, but the way it's looking, I had no qualms about not having those 3rd round picks.
So you didn't feel that you could have gotten someone
everybody
to
thinks
help
next
your
year's draft
team
will
in
be
the 3rd
really
round
good. I don't know if you've
last year.
got that far
Or
yet in
this
terms of
year's-
knowing
okay.
what to
Okay,
expect.
Yeah, somebody told me that. Yeah, somebody told me that the quarterback class is supposed to be strong. But that's the only. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it's not stronger than this past year's, but that's really the only thing that I know. I don't really know how strong it is.
50-year option deadline is next week.
Yep.
You guys picking up Jack's option?
Yeah, we're still having those discussions and trying to see what we're going to do. But yeah, we're having open dialogue. But once we get him executed, you guys will be the first one to know.
Jack, is there any debate just because, his number's so high for a linebacker?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just we're having dialogue with, the agents, and we'll just, when they happen, you guys will know.
Brad, is that Rod Wood in your shirt?
Yeah. This is so obviously Rod's last draft, so we wanted to do something special. We're a little nervous about how he was going to react, but the high school basketball photo I thought was pretty cool. So I thought he handled it pretty well. Actually, I felt like it was cool, but yeah, I thought it was. Rod's done so many special things for everybody else. Whether it was my jersey last year or Dan's jersey. I mean, so it was, that was really cool to be able to do something cool for him because he definitely deserves a lot more than this because of all the great things that he's done for our organization.
You guys dig up his high school stats by any chance?
I didn't see the stats, but I just want to make sure that this was going to pass first. So this passed, so I was kind of good with that. Yeah.
Who got him made this year?
What'd you say?
Did it for you last year, I think, right? So who got him made this year?
He just kind of just took the place this year. Yeah, I thought it was deserving. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was Brad Holmes. All righty. I need to find where that is. Why wouldn't we pick up both 5-year options? You mean on who? Both 5th-year options on who? Why did they get a receiver? I have no idea. B-, B+ drive for me. I'm around the same. I'll probably go in the middle and say B. Oh, Gibbs and Dell. Yeah, we're gonna pick up both of them. He said to catch passes. Duh, my bad. I don't get the wide receiver pick at all either. Again, as I said, there were people there at the wide receiver. If you're just going to throw away a pick, you could have taken a flyer on Taylor and Green. In the 5th round, he went at the very top of the 6th round, the first pick to the Cleveland Browns, which is not a surprise to anyone. Because, they don't have quarterbacks over there. So they don't have enough. They needed more. You could have got Harold Perkins Jr., who went at the very bottom of the 6th round in, comp picks. So I don't know. I didn't really understand the wide receiver pick at all. Brad Holmes was very, very happy and excited about him being a special teamer. If that's what you want to do and you want to get special teams guys, go ahead and get them. I don't understand the excitement, but, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm telling you, Tyree West is going to be a big edge, big end. I didn't see that in Gil, and what's his name? Gil Howard? The Gil dude. But Tyree West, I definitely saw. He got 2 tiny DTs. Yeah. So as I said, Tyree West, at Tennessee, they had him rushing inside and outside. They had him standing up. So you already know what he's going to do in our defense. The Gil dude, I didn't see too much of that. You know, he's quick on the inside, but we'll see what happens with him. I'm happy about one thing. Ignatius fought the urge to take McCoy. I actually, had he been there in the 5th round, I wouldn't have minded taking him. Tyree West weighs 10 plus pounds more than our DT Skylar Gil Howard. But I'm saying the style of play that they had where they were, Tennessee had Tyree West rushing from all over the line and standing up out on the edge. So that's why I'm saying when he gets to Detroit, you know what Shep is going to do. You know what Dan Campbell wants. You know, they like big dudes that, you know, so this is what they wanted Tyus Lacey to be. This is what they wanted Aleem McNeil to be for whatever reason. I don't know. You know, they didn't draft Aleem McNeil to do that. And then Shep comes along and he starts doing that crazy crap. But, you know, he's the one that's put Tyus Lacey out there first. So then, you know, Aleem McNeil comes back and he goes, "Oh, Aleem McNeil can do this," which was crazy. But it was what it was. But that I think just watching the tape, Tyree West is going to be standing up rushing from the edge. He's going to do it. I really hope that works out, because if not, it's time to hit the reset button on the whole program. I just want my DTs to weigh more than my DEs. Well, right now, Derek Moore is what? 245, 255, something like that. So yeah, your DTs, they weigh more than him. You know, they weigh more than him. Whew.
Sugar cookie, man. This is crazy. Look, 79, 89. Nice little deal.
Are they going for speed? I would say Tyree West is pretty quick, but he's also 290 pounds. So
that does not make sense. But more important, you have to ask yourself, what does this have to do with this case? Nothing.
If I do some UDFA videos, y'all gonna watch them? I still got, bro. I got a bunch of videos that I gotta do. They're all I'm just gonna put them out. How do you feel? No Perkins, man. I was not excited about that. He was there, so. Amiku can cover. That's literally Amik's job to cover. Maybe he doesn't know Abney was a world champ roller skater yet. Was he a world? Oh man, it's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be tough to get through this day. Coming in on 4 hours of sleep, burning the midnight oil. You know. Yeah, the wide receiver wasn't. I didn't understand the pick. I didn't understand the pick. I really didn't understand it. Interesting. Well, there you go. If he can get it in on skates, you definitely can't put him on skates. Ba-dum-bum-tsh. Ba-dum-bum-tsh. What is this one?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Is this the we don't care one?
We don't care.
Bro, I just don't even understand. I can't hear my drops. How am I supposed to do drops if I don't know what they are? I don't think we traded up for him. Did we trade up? What did we trade? We traded with Buffalo. Think Skylar Gilhoward was an amazing pick? I think the Abney pick was great. And then I think that from what I've seen from Tyree West, he's going to be oh, okay. We only have 1 6-round pick. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, Buffalo kicked us back to 05. Okay. All right. I mean, It's not much of a muchness, but yeah, I didn't. Brad Holmes fell in love with his special teams ability, and I just don't understand. I don't understand loving a special teamer like that. It's like, oh, he's got some return ability, not so much like Leaf. What's Greg Dortch for? I don't understand. What is Greg Dortch for? I feel like you were in a position to grab some people. Again, I can't be too mad because it's the 5th round. But it's just we love our guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Why are we trading up for a wide receiver? To any spots, even one spot. Why? Why are we trading? We use 181 and 213 to get 168 and get the wide receiver. And then we got 205. So is he replacing Dortch already? That's what I'm saying. What was he for? We replaced Borum already, so maybe. The linebacker is ass, and I will die on that hill. He's a white frat boy linebacker. I mean, he's got all the characteristics, bro. He's got the grit, the tenacity, the motor, all that stuff. But he can't cover. So I'm over here, detective. It's the 2nd round good enough? 2nd round? You know what? Yes. The 2nd round is good enough for him to get an edge. I was not upset about that at all. I was very happy about that. What was 205? 205 was it the 6th round? Did we make 2 selections in the 6th? I got the tracker right here. Guilty. Mr. Morale 313, you know what that is. Hang that. I got the rope right here. 205 was Skylar Gill Howard. Yeah, so we traded our 6th. 205 we already had, I think. Because we only made 1 selection in the 6th. Jameis Winston gonna catch a pass over him. Yeah, so what he said was when he was at Alabama and he was there with Ray Agnew watching somebody else, and he was just like, oh man, who's that number 1 over there? Oh my God. And just fell in love with him. It was love at first sight. I know just from the way she looked at me. Oh, her eyes said it all. She was unhappily married with children, and I wish I never met her at all. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be here all week, bro. I'll be here all week. I mean, if we play Campbell, Rodrigo, and this frat boy together, going to be the first time 3 white linebackers played since Eisenhower. Well, see, Rodrigo's not white. He's Mexican. So we got, that's not going to work. What up, though, Mike? Oh my goodness. He said you almost died today. I don't care what color he is, can he play? He could play, but he can't cover. He's a short tackler and all that other stuff. Where's our coverage coming from our linebackers? Jack Campbell's not a coverage linebacker. Rodrigo's not a coverage linebacker. And we saw Derek Barnes try to cover a quarterback and couldn't do it. So I don't know where the coverage is coming from. You know, Mike said it looked like we were going to play more zone, but you know what? You know what you got to do to play zone? You got to have linebackers that can cover a zone. So I'm not sure. Clark, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. I guess that's crazy. Love it. Gonna be on the same bus out of town with Meeks. I don't think we got a Meeks replacement. We only got one wide receiver. This is a crazy comment. Oh man. Damone Clark. I don't know. Can Damone Clark cover? I don't think he's particularly adept at much. A bunch more nickel this year for sure. We ain't got no linebackers to cover, bro. I know Shep's guy is his little brother. He was non-negotiable. In order for Shep to take the position as defensive coordinator, Derek Barnes had to be extended. I saw the big edge more in Tyree West than I saw in Gil Hill, but you know, they're both undersized. But Tyree West, like, they had him standing up, they had him rushing from the inside, they had him rushing from the outside, they had him chasing down plays. But then I did see Gil Hill get that interception and motor. He was moving. You know what I'm saying? Big man Teddy. He was moving. So, you know, it is what it is. Why do we keep getting these big edges? Yep, 0 scheme changes. Yeah, I know. I know. Brad didn't do bad. Besides the wide receiver and linebacker, I think he ranked the edge and corner and OL. I think he nailed the edge, the corner, and OL. Not just Barnes, Clark too. Oh, Clark is his guy? Well, he better do something. He's the linebacker whisperer, so he better whisper. Tyree West got interesting burst and athleticism. He does. He does. And we're going to see it on coming off the edge. But you know what? Here's the thing. I don't have a problem. So I have a problem with the big edge position. I don't have a problem with you putting someone there who's done it before. Right? That's the thing. Tyree West has, while a 7th rounder, has production in that situation. He may not have been drafted until the 7th round because he's undersized as a defensive tackle, and nobody else in the NFL is doing that big edge mess. So the Lions were like, well, we can grab him in the 7th round. Right? So that's what I saw from the brief tape that I saw. I think he had something like 7 sacks last year. You know, so that just gives them positional flexibility and all this other stuff and scheme versatility. Even though our scheme is not versatile at all, the player can play anywhere. He did mentor him at LSU. That's true. That is true. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a little tidbit. Derek Moore better start. He will. But he did say in the press conference yesterday something about spelling Hutch. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll be on the field at times together, but that doesn't really seem like the plan right now. It seems like the plan is to give Hutch a breather while you still have DJ Wanham on the other side. So, I don't know. Favorite player in this draft? Moore, for sure. No brainer. Derek Moore. Give me more Derek Moore. So Wanham can start. Moore just has to finish the game week 1 after DJ gets injured and hits IR. Are you talking about DJ or Peyton Turner? You know? I don't know. Mr. Burrell, I have a drop on here that I just can't do because I can't hear it, so I can't cut it off. I don't even know why I put it in because I know I can't play it on stream. All I'm going to say is Pinky. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say. Pinky, ask a question. Pinky's day out. Mine was more till we got Abney. I'm gonna stay with Moore, bro. I'm gonna stay with Moore. I have to see Abney perform like Abney can perform in our secondary. I mean, DJ Reed wasn't this bad when he wasn't in Detroit. Like, this is the thing. He wasn't this bad. Next Friday, Pinky, yes. He has a question. He wants to know who sent him. Nah, Turner's already on IR week 1. He ain't making it out of training camp. He's not making it out of training camp. Oh, man. I really wish I could play that drop. Asking for a friend, is the mock machine already set up for 2027 or do we got to wait 10 more picks? So it is not set up for 2027 yet. I have to wait for the big board to come out, and there's a couple more things that I need to adjust. But yeah, I'm also going to be adding a fantasy football component to the mock machine. I don't think there's any other reason to have another website, another brand. I think I'll just, you know what I mean? I'll just go with a fantasy tab for the mock machine. So it'll truly be a mock machine. I'm thinking about putting a trade calculator on there too. So you know what the trades look like, what you would have to do to get a trade. So it's ongoing development. TDI incoming. I'm trying to see when we're going live. Yeah, so any of y'all that play football, yeah, any of y'all that play fantasy football, I'm not big into fantasy football, but I'm doing it for the people. So anybody that plays fantasy football, if you have some suggestions, what are things that you like about the apps that you use? What are things that you dislike? What are things that you think are missing in the apps that you use? I started building one a couple years ago, and the one thing that I did have was a live highlight component. Like during the week. So I would have to have something pulling that in, and I know how to do that because it's the same thing that I do with the rosters for the mock machine, the GM mode, where it's pulling in the up-to-date rosters. So I would have to shoot. Yeah. I could do that. So it would be a little bit more technical, but I could do it. Who sent you, Ninja? Is Branch and Kirby good to go because we didn't draft a safety? No. Actually, Brad said in his conference that it just didn't line up. And he didn't think the depth at that position was very strong this year. So he did say something about evaluating them or reevaluating them or whatever, but no, they're not good to go. But again, we do have UDFA coming up. So we do have UDFA. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more picks in the 7th round. Is Jalen Kilgore not been drafted yet? VJ Payne was drafted. He went to the Jets. I think the Jets defense is going to be crazy this year. If not this year, next. I think they added a lot of pieces. Yeah, my best friend is a Hawks fan, so he let me know that the Pistons lost today. Yep, sounds like Maddox and Isian are week 1 starters at safety. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. The Ravens are on the clock, followed by back-to-back Eagles picks because they're into the comp picks. The Chiefs pick is in. Ravens on the clock. Eagles. Ravens again. Colts, Seahawks, Broncos. Oh, Kilgore got drafted. But when did Kilgore get drafted? Did he get drafted in the 5th round? The Texans love their Kamaris, bro. They got Kamari Lassiter at corner. Now they got Kamari Ramsey at safety. One pick above us. Oh, okay. Yep, we went to the Bills. Well, that's crazy. Probably start the year with Kirby, not Branch. I mean, I think we all thought that was going to be the case anyway. The mock machine has nearly every pick the Lions made as a major reach. Well, I don't think every pick was a major reach. Kilgore, VJ Payne, and Max got drafted. SMH. Oh, Max Llewellyn finally got drafted. Went to the Dolphins. Well, if the Eagles and the Ravens and the Broncos don't draft everybody with their damn comp picks, then we might be able to get somebody at UDFA. Branch will be gone to November. And didn't do any trades. I still got to tweak some things with the algorithm. But based off of the big board that I use, I guess it found it as a reach. But again, Brad's board is different than everybody else's. Drafted after the wide receiver. Brad went 5 of 7, but man, did I hate those 2 misses. What were the 2 misses? The receiver and Rolder. Oh man. I got this coffee machine in the house that I've never used. And I think I need to use it. I got some Ethiopian coffee beans in the car. I need to go get them. Or maybe I'll just eat them. Eat them and drink some milk. I might do that. I don't know how a wide receiver proves you wrong on the Detroit Lions. We don't need wide receivers. This is not like, it's like they got PTSD from when they first got here and the cupboard was just bare. Like they didn't have nothing. They had Tyrell Williams, right? That's it. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they keep drafting wide receivers. You got to be like Devin Hester. I mean, again, you got Greg Dortch, so I don't understand it, but it is what it is. I'm going to get this coffee, bro. Hold on. I'll be right back. All right. We back. Don't you hate when you be looking for something in the refrigerator and it don't be in the refrigerator? You said Abney is not making it? Yeah. What up, though, One Republic? You had the Maury Poe. You had a bruh. Mr. Morale, did you see the one? Brothers, we got to stop doing this. We got to be better. Come on, brother. Come on now. Woo. So it's looking like we're gonna do the Motor City Cots at 8:30. Not the Motor City Cots. We're gonna do the Syndicates 365 at 8:30. So I'm gonna hop off of here so I can get these videos done. And then we'll be back. So I appreciate y'all that came out, even though I was super late. All right, Pierce. Once again, the Motor City Cots R&D back at it. We got him to give you stats, not none of them static, none of that static, whatever you do. Make sure you keep your Lions News pragmatic. And we will see you in about, an hour and a half? Yeah, about then. All right. Peace.